Joe Biden's celebrity endorsements are backfiring. Once a critical part of an election campaign, Joe Biden's celebrity pals are doing the president more harm than good this time around, and it could just cost him the election. Sky News All Stars Rita Panahi, Morrow and Annelise Nielsen take a look at the latest delusional Democrats and, conversely, celebrities who have jumped ship to endorse Donald Trump. The world is today laughing at Hollywood actor Robert De Niro for his unhinged anti-Trump speech outside Donald Trump's hush money trial, reveals Sky News All-Star Rita Panahi.
Now to a celebrity who had an almighty meltdown in front of a sea of cameras and has forever trashed his own reputation in the eyes of at least half of his countrymen. Gosh, I think even the lefties are a little embarrassed by Robert De Niro's latest antics.
I mean, this is really, even these people over here are it's kind of crazy. It's really crazy, and this thing, Donald Trump has created this. He should be telling them not to do this, but he's just, he wants to sow total, he wants to sow total chaos, which he's succeeding in.
Now watch here as he claims that if Trump wins, there'll be no more elections. And note that he is reading this demented diatribe. He wrote all this down and decided it was a totally sane and rational thing to say out loud.
Under Trump, this kind of government will perish from the earth. I don't mean to scare you. No, wait, maybe I do mean to scare you. If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye that we all take for granted. And elections, forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave. He will never leave. You know that. He will never leave.
Instead of support and cheers from the crowds in New York, Robert De Niro was met with abusive fans who didn't hesitate to give him a piece of their mind, reveals Sky News All-Star Morrow.
Celebrities and politics. Is there a more delicious combination? Of course, it all ended so well. Counter-protesters called De Niro washed up.
You're not going to intimidate. That's what Trump does, to try to intimidate. We have to fight back.
And after De Niro called Trump a tyrant, a local decided to offer his own review of De Niro.
You're a softie! You're a nobody!
But Annelise Nielsen says stunts like Robert De Niro's only serve to strengthen Donald Trump's fan base.
Now, jury trials are always a fickle thing. You only need one person to vote against to have a hung jury and no conviction comes through. With the makeup of the jury, what we know of them, there is the potential for at least a few of them to not go that way, even in a very Democrat area. But what we do know is that this has very much contributed to Donald Trump's popularity in the polls. His supporters and others are very convinced that this has been political persecution, and he's seen that, if anything, it's had a bump in his popularity in the polls.
It's very, very dangerous, and I think both sides have now weaponized the criminal justice system against the other side. You can be sure the Republicans will do this against the Democrats.
This isn't the first time Robert De Niro has had a meltdown about Donald Trump. He was in good company with the hosts on The View who share his sentiments.
Well, I think I don't understand why people are not taking him seriously, because you read about it historically in other countries that they didn't take the people seriously. I think Hitler, Mussolini, they're fools and clowns. Well, and I hear it. There's some people. I mean, who does not think that this guy is going to do exactly what he says he's going to do?
Right.
What more do you need? It's almost like he wants to do the worst that he could possibly do to show this country. His slow.
And And again with Bill Maher in an interview Rita Panahi called utterly deranged.
Let's end lefties with Robert De Niro, showing that he is beyond help. The man is utterly deranged. Listen here for his paranoid fantasies about Donald Trump.
Nothing at all, nothing redeemable in him. And we have to, and whoever the people are who want to vote for him, and there look like intelligent people around there, somebody, for some reason, it can't be. It cannot be. If he wins the election, you won't be on the show anymore. He'll come looking for me. There'll be things that happen that none of us can imagine.
But it's not only Robert De Niro having meltdowns about Donald Trump. Sky News All-Star Rita Panahi exposed Bill Maher as either wildly ignorant or dishonest.
Been seeing a lot of Bill Maher lately. He has a book to flog, so he's been everywhere, from The View to Gutfeld. Of course, he went on Fox, that's where the audience is. But the more we see of him, the more clear it is that this lefty, who is occasionally sane and lucid, is either wildly ignorant or dishonest. Watch as Megyn Kelly educates him, or tries to, about election denial.
I mean, you keep saying sort of I'm nuts because I don't see the difference between the elephant and the mouse, and I'm telling you I identify them differently than you do. Hillary Clinton, of course, is the original election denier. I'm sure you voted for her in 2016.
Well, she's not an election denier.
She absolutely was the OG election denier.
First of all, she came out before the sun had risen to concede the election to Trump.
And then spent the next 4 years saying he was illegitimate. He was an illegitimate president.
Okay, well, first of all, she didn't say he was an illegitimate.
Yes, she did.
You tell me exactly what she said.
She said those exact words repeatedly.
Okay.
Yep, she did. She said those exact words, Bill.
And one unhinged host of The View let her anti-Trump stance cloud her better judgment, which saw her spurting deranged nonsense, according to Rita Panahi.
And today it's the ironically named Joy Behar who stars with this bit of derangement.
You keep wearing that red hat that says "Make America Great Again." That tells people that you go along with this. So you might as well just put a swastika on the hat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Because we see it anyway.
Yep, she's bonkers and devoid of joy. Can you imagine becoming so unhinged by a Making America Great Again cap?
But these celebrity Biden endorsements are the minority this time around. And Sky News All-Star Kinsey Schofield revealed the tightly held Hollywood secret that many celebrities are planning on supporting Donald Trump, but are too scared to voice their true feelings publicly.
Let's talk more about Hollywood. Emmy-winning actress Dre DeMatteo has told Donald Trump Jr. during a podcast that there are many well-known celebrities, including herself, who are opposed to President Joe Biden's agenda, but they're hesitant to voice their opinions.
And people in Hollywood are petrified. What are you going to speak out against race and sex and all of that stuff? People are afraid to have those conversations because, first of all, you never win with a liberal. Yeah. You're just never going to win.
Kinsey, she's right, but we do have plenty of celebrities who are eager to voice leftist political opinions, and they're getting louder and louder right now on social media, from Susan Sarandon to Barbara Streisand to Robert De Niro.
Now, I think when it comes to politics, this is a polarizing rematch, Trump versus Biden, and the stakes are very high. So I do feel like you're seeing a lot of celebrities that we typically see in our faces around this time, like Taylor Swift, disengage. But don't forget, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson endorsed Biden in 2020, but recently argued that he won't make that mistake again. He told Fox and Friends the endorsement that I made years ago with Biden was one that I thought was the best decision for me at the time. Am I going to do that again this year? The answer is no, I'm not going to do that. Musician Macklemore recently released a scathing song tearing into Joe Biden, saying, "I will not be voting for you this fall." But here we are in June, celebrity-fueled Los Angeles fundraiser starring George Clooney and Julia Roberts. So some are bailing, and then there are some that I guess I would consider in the shameless category, trying to prop up this 80-year-old man.
Bill Maher had a moment of clarity when he dared to criticize Joe Biden on The View, despite getting pushback from the hosts.
Biden just presents as old. It's not really fair.
No.
Because he's almost the same age. Trump is almost the same age as him.
I know.
But Trump doesn't present that way. You know, you look at somebody right away, you can kind of just sum them up. I mean, we are not young, but we don't present as old.
Yeah.
Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, he's cadaver-like.
But his brain is good. He's still great.
And Caitlyn Jenner is also unsurprisingly on board with Donald Trump's bid to be president in November, reveals Sky News All-Star Gabriella Power.
Caitlyn Jenner has posted to social media throwing her support behind Donald Trump. This image is going viral and it has the headline, "We must restore world peace by re-electing Trump." Now, Caitlyn Jenner is fighting hard for the former president to be re-elected. She wrote in the caption, "It's that simple. We had world peace, unity and law and order under President Trump. Time to re-elect him. He's on fire."
Hollywood star Dennis Quaid broke with Hollywood ranks to put his support behind Donald Trump, citing weaponization of the legal system as his reason for the change of mind.
I was ready not to vote for Trump until what I saw is more than politics. I see a weaponization of our justice system, and a challenge to our Constitution, us as Americans, that I don't think we're going to have. And you know, Trump is the most investigated person probably in the history of the world, and they haven't been able to really get him. People might call him an asshole, but he's my asshole.
And it seems as though the American public is following the trend of celebrities abandoning Joe Biden, if the crowds lining the streets of New York City are anything to go by.